So something crazy happened. If you've been following the channel, you would know that we are a big advocate for tracking all of your expenses, and we live by that ourselves. As September came to an end, it surprised us. We ended the month with a lot of extra money left over, and I thought this would be a good way to show you what we can do with it, how we're going to use it to plan for October to the end of the year. And these perfect months are perfect for speeding up your financial goals that you've been working on. So I'm going to share the exact system I use inside Monarch Money to turn extra cash into real progress. Let's dive in. So just like any spreadsheet you use when tracking a budget, Monarch Money starts with income, goes down through the expenses, and then usually ends with some sort of savings or investing or emergency fund goals that you end up planning to put the extra money. The one reason I like Monarch Money compared to spreadsheets is I want simplicity. And most of the times when you're busy and you're running to the grocery store and you have errands, you don't always write down or have every receipt from everything you spend. So the one thing I love about Monarch Money is it brings in it automatically, and it just reminds you every day, every few hours, it says, hey, you had some transactions that came in. Can you go ahead and put them to a category? I love this because I don't have to remember them or saying, man, something's off. My bank balances aren't matching. So I'm going to dive into this and you'll see what I'm talking about. So first we start with our income, right? We need to know what we make to plan what we spend. So first off, I am a W-2 employee. I work for a family construction company. So we do get a paycheck, right? So as those paychecks come in, you'll see the totals. This may change. You'll have 2 paycheck months, 3 paycheck months. So this will vary. So you kind of want to average it out. If you know how many paychecks, if you get paid every Friday or every other Friday, you'll kind of know what's going to come. So you can be able to plan for it here, and you can always change this budget to match. You'll see that in October. Business income, we do run a business. We have a real estate business as well as this financial coaching business. The one thing I want to advise here, and this is why we practice it ourselves, the reason why you see such a weird number, this $4,307, is because we take a percentage of the revenues brought in. When you have, say, if you're a realtor, a loan officer, or sales, when your payment is based on commission and it's up and down a lot, and it's really hard to know what you're going to spend every month or make every month. You want to be able to pick a number that's kind of in the average. And that way it says, well, I know it could be a $5,000 month. It could be a $1,000 month. I could make no money this month. You kind of average it out saying, hey, in the last 12 months, last 6 months, what have I seen across the board? Do I want to take $1,000 every month? Give myself motivation. My company's making money, so therefore I'm making money. I could treat my family, kind of show them what the sacrifice is all about. So this is what we take. We take a percentage of the revenues and then we bring them into personal. So that way we can treat the kids, treat my wife. So you'll see this 4,307. It's a weird number. I get it. Now this other income, $210, kind of a weird number, weird category. This is for anything that's, I guess, like selling extra items is for a perfect example of what we did here. We had some extra stuff in the garage that we just didn't need anymore. So we went ahead, listed it on Facebook Marketplace, and as it sold, we ended up putting the money here just under other income. That way for this month, we'll have a bit extra to put into the categories. If you have watched prior videos in the channel, you'll know that there are specific rules for budgeting and personal finance. The main one is 50-30-20, 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings, investing, debt pay down. Now there's the 65-15-20, there's a whole bunch of 70-20-10. Basically, they're guidelines. Like you can move them as whichever fits it doesn't have to be 50, 30, and 20. It could be 55, 25. It can fit what your life is doing, but you try to stick to these particular frameworks to kind of give you a guide on where to be. So you'll see that most of the time when we cover those budget videos, the biggest category of expenditure is housing, right? So when you're going to buy a house or rent a house, they usually ask if you're going to rent, we want 3 times your income. If you're going to buy, they'll usually have what's called a DTI, a debt to income ratio. They want to know how much you make, and then they'll calculate, usually the loan officer, exactly how much that you can spend to afford a certain house. Now at those particular rates, they'll come up with an average purchase price, and that's how they determine their pre-approval when you go to buy a house. This is very similar. You want that to be preferably under 30%. That is difficult in today's age. We try ourselves. We are very organized with how we do these. Obviously the mortgage is going to be the same every month. We calculate that. The insurance changes. So I actually de-escrowed that and pulled that out. So when it comes to this particular system that I run in Monarch Money, you'll see mortgage is $2,142 a month. We know that where that's going to be. So I have it planned out. Home insurance, the reason why you see $300 here budgeted and 0 in actual with this weird rollover amount is because I don't like personally having a ton of different accounts to match, like, oh, this is the emergency fund for insurance when that hits. I just have one high yield savings account making, right now they're over 3.5 to 4%. I want that in one account, and I'm going to put all my emergency funds in there. I'm going to put every bit of savings. I'm a chronic saver, so any extra cash goes in there, and I know kind of the amount that needs to be in there to be able to cover all the emergency funds. So for this, you'll see 300, zero in actual. The reason for that is because we pay our insurance annually. So usually get a pretty good discount, whether it's 5, 10%, if you end up paying it one lump sum. I'm not trying to increase all my costs from, say, $3,000 a year to $3,300. It's an extra $300 saved, so we pay it every year. But I don't want that $3,000 just all of a sudden to come up in a July or an August when we may have a vacation that we're planning for, and now the budget's kind of screwed for that month. So instead, we plan ahead and we put a little bit of money each month into this fund, and it rolls over and it keeps track saying, okay, as we approach, ours is usually July, August, September time. As we get there, I kind of know where we need to be. So if I have to maybe start increasing this, if we know the insurance premiums are going to go up, or even decreasing if, we may have a free month where it says, hey, we're a little over from what our quote was. So home improvement, same thing. We put $100. We actually just had like minor fixes that we had to that depleted the fund last month. Just took it right out of the emergency fund, right out of the savings. It wasn't a big deal. And so now we're going to start over. So $100 we're budgeting this month, and it's going to trigger and roll over into next month. Pest control, same thing. So it's part of the maintenance. I highly recommend it. Unless you're buying Pesty or one of those at-home services, I've tried, say, oh, I'm going to cut the budget. This is going to be a line item. Except every time I've done that, you just now naturally, it's like all the insects know. There's just more insects in your house, spiders, like you notice them, right? You may have bats or mice, whatever. Every time that I've tried to cut this expense, it's usually bitten me in the butt. So we're not going to do that. I hire a pest control company, and I just budget it in. It's $60 every month, $127 every other month. So you'll see in October, we actually budget for that and roll it over to the following. Then comes the next biggest expense. So if you've been following the channel, if you know anything about personal finance, you know that cars and car loans are the biggest wealth killer in America right now. Trying to budget a $750 car payment, let alone two $750 car payments, it wipes everyone's budget out. So with some of we've had rental properties and we've sold those in the previous years where we were able to take some of the funds and pay off the cars. Highly recommended. As you can see with our auto budget here, auto maintenance, you'll see this is up at $1,000. That's just because I wanted some rollover fund, because it happened. My car just decided towards the tail end of the month, something came up. So I had to take it in for a service, ended up costing over $1,800. Wasn't worried about it. I knew about it. I knew I had the funds. It's set aside. The tech gave it, says, yeah, it could be $200. Next thing you know, it increased to $1,800 is what it is. The car's up and running. I can get back to work. But you'll see there's no car payment. There's no $600, $700, $1,000 taken out of this budget. It is a huge blessing. And I highly recommend, if you can have any extra funds to put towards your car payments, to put towards your loan, I highly recommend it. Student loans, everything. Because once you end up freeing up that cash, there are so many more expenses here that you can take care of. So you'll see auto insurance. We know that same thing comes out every year. It's budgeted. That way there's a rollover. Gas, a little bit of gas this month is what it is. You'll have it. $1,000, auto maintenance. We had that $1,800 bill come out. I could move this and put in the whole budget and maybe take some up from my savings. And you'll see there'll be more of a rollover for next month in case I need a new set of tires or something else happens. I can still keep this high, and you'll see this negative $851. I could just go down here to my savings and take $851 out, and it'll even out to zero. So sure, I could do that. I don't want to. We're trying to maximize our savings for future challenges. So if you are interested in seeing us investing over the next few months into the years, because with all this craziness politically right now, definitely subscribe to the channel. We have some neat challenges coming out, and you'll definitely want to see them. Okay, so we're going to go up here and move this back to $1,000 and roll over the $497. This is zero left to budget. This is also called a zero-based budget. Pretty much Dave Ramsey calls it every dollar gets a job, right? As soon as you make one, where's it going? Where are we allocating it to? So this is a very similar system. We kind of have it built in. Vehicle registration, same thing. Annual expense, $600, $700, usually sneaks up one time a year. You forget about it. We are going to monitor that every month and just put a little bit of money aside. So we always have some aside just for that. We don't get surprised. Bills, utilities, these are utilities. Gas and electric, water, phone. We try to roughly estimate what this will be. It stays within a certain range. It changes from summer to winter, but we usually put $250 for gas and electric, another $150 per month came in under for water. Phone bill, you're going to pay it. We use Verizon. You could use Mint Mobile or Helium as a new provider. They try to lower it down to that $15 to even $25 a month. Could save money there. We're good with Verizon at the moment. So $87, we plan for it, is what it is. Subscriptions for the month of September, we had one that sneaks up on us every year. It's our Best Buy subscription. We pay for it. That way we get a 2-year warranty on everything we buy. Usually we buy all of our tech at Best Buy. So all of our normal subscriptions usually come out to be about a $90 to $100 per month. This particular month, that subscription hit for Best Buy, it increased it by $200, like $180, $200. So we're able to allocate it saying, oh, okay, is what it is. Now we can know that going forward, we can increase that amount, pay for it again next year if we decide to renew it. So gifts and donations, you'll see gifts and donations is at 0 for this month, only because we know we have a ton of birthdays coming next month. So this is our way of hedging, saying, hey, we're going to decrease the amount of gifts and donations that we're giving this month to be able to put more towards birthdays and everything coming up. And then the holidays are usually a big donation period. Food and dining, this is going to be another one of those big expenses. Groceries, you'll see this is a little low, right? $447 doesn't really get you very far nowadays. And I'll tell you why here in a second. Restaurants, it's $183, still lower than our normal. We usually try to budget maybe $600, $700 for groceries per month, with another $200 or $300 for date nights and taking the kids out for restaurants. And then we had some fast food budget. How I usually categorize that is if I'm sitting down to eat, it's restaurants. And if we're pulling through a drive-through or if it's a grab and go, it's fast food. Coffee shops, I wanted to buy my wife a coffee a few days ago, so we ended up adding $7 in there. Travel and lifestyle. So you'll see this $625. That is actually why our grocery budget and fast food budget, restaurant budget are so low compared to previous months, because we ended up traveling. We went on a 1-week vacation. We had already prepaid for a lot of the travel expenses, so all those mainly covered. So this is pretty much just food. $625 while we were out there, we're eating out. The reason why I don't have those built into the fast food and restaurant budgets is when I'm traveling, I want to know exactly how much I'm spending on travel specific. If I'm eating while I'm traveling, it's a travel expense. If I'm paying for gas in the car, it's a travel expense. I don't put it in gas and restaurants and fast food. Just so I know, like, oh, this is why we reduced this month, and that's why I travel. So when I run a report at the end of the year, I can tell you exactly how much we spent traveling, and that was all expenses in. Not, oh, well, we spent this much on the hotel, this much on flights. It's all built in. This is travel. You can create subcategories and put travel and hotel, travel, gas, and really dive deep into it, saying, okay, maybe we need to look more into flights because we're spending a ton on fuel driving to California or Florida. But yeah, so I just leave it as travel and vacation. So that's why the food budgets end up being a little lower than previous months. Entertainment, recreation. This is like when you go golfing, when you are doing, say, a softball league. I think this one in particular was we took our kids to a movie early in the month, $64. So that's fine. Personal expenses. If I'm like giving my siblings money, or if I'm just doing any like personal expense, it's one time, it's simple. This is $14. I just put it under personal. Shopping. If any of you have followed the channel and know me at all, you know that I don't do shopping. It's not something I really look forward to. I'm like dying to get out of the shop. My wife will tell you, I'm like counting down the set. You might as well just leave me in the car, right? If I need stuff, I obviously have to be there, so it's annoying. So this month ended up being that particular month every year that I usually end up having to do some sort of shopping for myself. So $392 went to the outlet mall. My wife got some things. My kids we went ahead and did that. Children lunch money. If you guys are parents, you know that, kids just eat you a house and home. So while they're at school, luckily it's like $3 a meal or a day. So we just allocate a little money each month to be able to refill their account for school lunches. Education, continuing ed, as being a licensed real estate agent and a certified financial coach. We have to keep up these licenses. So we allocate a little bit. This is actually a little light, which is fine. You'll see in future months, this expense will actually increase. Health and wellness, another big expense. You'll see $2,000 here. And the reason for that is we know of some medical expenses that are going to be coming down the road in the future. So we are already planning a little bit each month ahead of time to try to build up this just medical fund that we're going to put money into. And that way, when those bills hit, if you've ever received medical bills, you get one, you're shocked by it, you go ahead and pay it, and you're like, oh goodness, thank gosh that's over. And then you get 3 more in the mail. They just never seem to end. So we're going to go ahead and build up this fund. That's why you see nothing now. We haven't gone to the doctor, nothing now. So next month's, you'll see that this will actually start to creep up, but we'll have the fund ready. Haircuts, pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of health and wellness. I like to get my haircut. Dental insurance, we'll actually start to see that in the future months. You'll see the actual dentist budget will increase because we're planning on teeth cleanings, teeth whitenings for the kids and myself and my wife. So you'll see that increase over the future months. And then down here is the fun ones. So when we're talking about retirement, you got your 401ks, your Roth IRAs. You can connect your accounts. Monarch Money has a ton of integrations through Plaid, MX, Finicity, where they can usually connect to your retirement accounts, and then you can allocate what's pre-tax and what's post-tax. So obviously I have a Roth IRA. I believe everybody at least should. 401ks are great. The way that I usually do that is if you have a 401k, you want to max your match with your employer. So if they are matching, say 3%, you want to put 3%. It's 100% free money. Take it right away, put 3% into your 401k. And then after taxes, if you have any going through your budget, put it into your Roth IRA to max that out. And then you can go back and finish out your 401k if you want. But the reason you see only $10 here. So this was a test. We're opening up a new brokerage account for some of the investing challenges we have coming in the future. So we had to test it with $10 just to make sure everything would go fine. $10 is a little indicative of what's to come. So subscribe to the channel and you'll find out in the future. $10 towards into this retirement account. We found out it worked. The account connected, was really fast, easy. It was way too easy. But then we ended up putting a lot of money here into this savings category. And you'll see a really weird number. The reason why, if we put $3,200 into here, you'll see that we no longer have a zero-based budget. So normally I would recommend setting like, okay, we're going to save $500 a month or $1,000 a month or $100 a month into savings first and foremost. It's similar to like the profit first method. If you've read the book by Mike Michalowicz, you pay yourself first, then you budget the rest. That way, you know your future self is always being paid. Then the budget lives. You live within the means. So for this, we are just going to put 33, tells you leftover over here in the top right corner, and that zeroes our budget out. The reason why we do that is we have a Roth IRA conversion coming up. So we're going to put some money into this. And if we end up saving enough next month, which I'll show you the October budget, it looks like we should be able to, then we'll do our Roth conversion. So it's a thing. We'll make a future video about it. But that way it doesn't go into retirement yet. It goes into actually when we move the funds. So that's the reason. And so that's October. It actually came out really well. We didn't know we'd have thousands of dollars left over because we kind of knew of some expenses. We knew we were going to travel. This auto expense snuck up on us, and we were able to cover it, so that's fine. But yeah, so we ended up in a really good spot. Now, going into October, here, yet again, we know it's probably going to be a 3 paycheck month. So we'll kick this up to say 9,000, not for every month because it doesn't always happen. So now we know we'll have a little bit left over. Interest, $1. Business income, it's the same percentage of total income. I try to maintain that the same to give some sort of base that we can plan for every month. And then other income, we have some stuff we're planning on listing on Facebook Marketplace that should sell pretty quick. So we put $400 here for other income. Mortgage, we know that's going to be the same. Home insurance, all these funds that we put just a little bit of money towards, you'll see them start to accumulate here. You have your home improvement budget. You'll see that when we put 100 from last month, it said 100. And here it says rollover plus this new contribution. So this fund will start to build up and roll over. So that way you don't get surprised by a water heater. And even if you have saved up $500 out of this 2,000, you're only coming up with 1,500 rather than the full 2,000. So any little bit helps. I highly recommend using rollovers or creating an emergency funds for this reason. So car, auto insurance, the same, auto maintenance. I'm still going to put a maintenance fund. I know at the rate that we've been driving, we're going to need tires probably next year, if not spring of the following. So I need to be able to save up that fund, be able to have a tire budget. Car wash, be able to wash it before winter comes, before we start getting all the salt and chemicals. Vehicle registration, another expense that sneaks up every year. It comes in, for us, it's usually around July. We get the thing in the mail that says, hey, you owe $600, $700 to register your car. Usually that's one of those bills that you see, you know you need to do it, totally forgot about it. So we end up allocating the fund here. That way it never really sneaks up. Bills, utilities, gas and electric, it's going to be the same. Increased water, We'll see how it ends up going. Phone bills, same. Subscriptions, didn't have that Best Buy subscription, so that's back down to $90 to $100. Gifts, like I said, it's a birthday month. We have multiple birthdays, so I put it at 1,000. We might even go over on this, but we'll put it there for now and we'll leave it and see how it goes. Groceries, we're increasing back to 700. We're not traveling. We're not taking a few weeks out of the month. So we're going to be here eating groceries. Restaurants increased it back to 300. Fast food I put for 240, just in case, we want to grab a quick bite with the kids or the wife. Travel, I still allocate $800. You can allocate 200, 100, 500, 50. I mean, if you allocate a little bit every month, next thing you know, you have this $1,500 for some future vacation for Christmas. And if you allocate a little bit every month, next thing you know, you have $2,000 for a little Christmas vacation with the family while the kids are out of school, and you can take it and you're not too worried about it. Personal, just in case something comes up, I give $100 to this category. Kids, lunch money, same thing. They each out of house and home, so you got to always put something there. Medical expense, we know of a few things coming down the road that we need to take care of for my wife, my kids. So we're going to allocate a little bit of money for the fund here. Haircuts, we know we're going to take them. Okay, so after dental insurance, this is just other types of insurance. In a fundamentals personal finance video that we're going to be having coming out, you'll notice one of the five buckets that we like to allocate money to is protection and planning. And part of that is insurance, whether it's like a disability insurance in case you get hurt on the job, or if you're a 1099 contractor and you get hurt and the insurance doesn't want to pay out, it's covered. If you have life insurance, health insurance, I highly recommend, by the way, while we're on the term of life insurance, if you have any financial advisor or anyone trying to sell you whole life, you definitely want to have that checked out, because whole life is one of those products that people really try to sell, because most financial advisors on selling those type of products are usually paid a commission on the backside. So they may not be offering it to you for your best interests. They might be offering it because it's something that they have to hit certain quotas with the company they're at. They're saying that they sell so many whole life policies. So I highly recommend talking to a CHFC or a CFP, a certified financial planner, chartered financial consultant, as their fiduciaries. They have to do what's in your best interests. So I highly recommend talking to them to see if that's the best option for you. Usually term life is fine. I know Dave Ramsey pushes term life to be at least cover the primary years when kids are small. Wife might be staying home, and your income is very important. So definitely check it out. This is where the insurance comes in. And then down here for retirement, you'll see this is where I put all the retirement. We had savings of over $3,000 last month to now $4,000 this month. That puts us at our total Roth cap for this year. You have to put like $7,000 in 2025. So between last month and this month, we should be able to put $4,000 and do the Roth conversion. It's easier to do it all at once. I know some apps let you kind of dollar cost average into it. Then there's a rule about it. It's easier just to do it all at once. So that's what the plan is. And that's October. So it looks like as long as everything goes according to plan, nothing comes out of the blue, October should be a pretty good month, especially thank goodness to the 3 paycheck month. Now, if you think Monarch Money is super cool and want to use it yourself, I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can save 50% off your first year. I love it. I mean, just from using it in this year or two that we've been using it, we've been able to cut our food budgets huge amounts. I mean, we were spending over $1,000 a month on food. So just in that, we've saved hundreds of dollars. Totally worth it. And remember, budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about momentum. That's what I help my coaching clients do. Find their margin and use it to build wealth. If you want help mapping out your own budget, book a free call with me. The link is down in the description below. And hey, subscribe to the channel, because next month we're going to go over exactly how October went, whether the Roth IRA conversion went through, and to see how we can plan more towards Thanksgiving and Christmas time. We'll also be launching the investing challenges. Not going to say too much, but yeah, definitely want to subscribe, keep track of those, and I'll see you in the next video.